A warm welcome to all of you present here today. This is our first ever Strong Human Network Fitness Summit, which we proudly present before you. This is the first in the series of fitness sessions. We have many more coming up. We will keep you informed about all the fitness sessions we have in the coming minutes of this session. So we know how fitness has gained a lot of prominence over the past few months, especially much more during the pandemic. And a lot of people are into healthy eating, moving your bodies, they are into fitness, they are into immunity like never before. And we thought probably this is the best time to present our fitness programs in front of you. And it is not just physical fitness that we are talking about here. We are also talking about mental fitness, emotional fitness, etc., which is much more important than physical fitness. And we at Strong Human Network are committed to make all of you feel better versions of yourselves. And we are committed to helping you in different areas of your life, especially career, relationships, and fitness and health. We have finished our career summit earlier. We also finished our relationship summit a couple of weeks back. And we now proudly present before you our fitness summit with our ACE Wellness architect, Jitesh, who's going to be introduced to you shortly. Before that, let me introduce our company and the core team in front of you. Strong Human Network is basically a global lifestyle company. It's a club which basically focuses on helping people become better versions of themselves. Now, we focus on three basic areas, basically career, relationships, and health and fitness. The company was founded by Mr. Sainath, who's here with us, and he's an IIM Calcutta alumnus. And he started this company 4 years back, and we are, running strong and doing extremely well in, enriching people's lives. We are a team of, success managers and relationship managers put together. I'll introduce the core team before you. We have Niharika, who's here with us, who's an NLP coach, who's into hiring, who's also into life skills. Hi, Niharika. And we also have Mr. Balaji. I don't know if he's joined in with us now, but Mr. Balaji is a consultant who's been with us, and we've been taking valuable advice from him at different stages of our journey. And myself, I'm Rajni. I'm a life skills instructor, a counselor. I'm also into recruitment and hiring. And I'm also a fitness enthusiast and love keeping myself fit mentally and physically. Now to, just introduce the most important person of today. It's my pleasure to welcome and introduce Jitesh Mowgli, who is a fitness and well-being architect. He's a 360 degrees human excellence coach. In simple words, he personifies and masters the term all-rounder by his 360-degree approach as a professional. He's a very, very simple and loving human being with over 17 years of experience, corporate experience in HR. He moved and he took this big plunge into his passion as a global coach to help guide and coach people all around the world become better human beings to add value to their own selves and to others on this beautiful planet. And he's worked with over 10K plus professionals from various backgrounds, corporates. He also takes clients on a one-on-one basis, and he helps educate them become better, fitter, stronger, healthier. And I take great pride in introducing Jitesh, who's a muscled asset for SHN. And we welcome Jitesh to this forum. Welcome, Jitesh. Over to you. It's all yours.
That was a wonderful introduction and a very detailed introduction. Thank you, Rajni. Thank you, Sai. Thank you, Niharika, and all the SHN team for a warm welcome. And a warm welcome to all the participants, non-Hessian folks too. You are an extended family for us. Taking time out to be part of this great catch-up, which is very, very important in the days to come. So let me do a screen sharing. So folks, as you see this slide, it's a very important slide, though it's very simple, but it's very deep. The person who's sitting in this slide, in this picture, is the ideal human being that we all need to aim for. The ideal persona, the ideal personification. This is the kind of human that we all need to look forward for, aim for. And this is what divine wants us to be. But unfortunately, 90% of the population doesn't even get in anywhere closer to it. And I'm going to state all those reasons why people don't come closer to this. Now, this particular picture resonates on one name, and that is something which I have very interestingly grasped from Sanskrit language. And I'm a huge fan of Sanskrit language because that's the language of the world, the ancient language. It's got deep roots and amazing amount of divinity and meaning in it. I have named this picture the ideal human in English language, but in Sanskrit, I would call this as Sthita Prajna. Sthita Prajna. Please make a note of it. Folks who are interested to make notes, please make a note of this. Sthita Prajna, meaning in English called complete evolved wisdom oriented person, a person who lives in 360-degree wisdom. And that is the ultimate destination of a human that we all need to work in our human life. 360-degree wisdom enhanced evolved person. And hence such people are called Sthita Prajna, who are absolutely undisturbed, fit, strong, healthier, undisturbed in any form, emotionally, mentally, physically, nutritionally, and from a lifestyle point of view, from a relationship point of view. Such a person has simple bliss in his life. I'm using this word bliss. They are very, very undisturbed because they live in such a zone, absolutely in control with themselves, irrespective of whether it is a positive, negative, good, bad, evil, or divine. They have an ability to absorb, grasp, and grow forward. And in turn, they help a lot of other people around them, environmentally, also adding a lot of value for the planet. And such people are very, very rare, very, very rare in the population. That's why I have said 90% of the population lives in the material world and in an unevolved form. And this 10% are the individuals who are somewhere closer to this Sthita Prajna mode. Maybe there are very, very rare humans who are absolutely in that ideal 100% space called 360-degree wisdom. So this is the destination that we all need to work forward for. And how is this program that I'm going to help you with? And this very mode is the ultimate fitness level, ultimate fitness, physically and mentally, emotionally, from a divine point of view, from a relationship point of view, internally and externally. So this person displays internal and external peace, power, strength, happiness. And this is where we all need to move forward for. And this is the journey. How to go on this journey is something which I'm going to share you now. What according to you is fitness? Please put down your notes in the chat box. This person who is running, who is moving, basically is moving. Okay, so you can also tag him as running. But this is a person who's trying to make us understand that he's in a movement space, moving. A lot of individuals don't move at all. And people who don't move are way, way too distant from fitness. The moving is so important. Why? This is the reason. If you see the cycle, the person over here is absolutely in a moving space. Any thought or a belief which converts into a feeling, and that feeling gets converted to action, and such actions get converted to result. So according to me, the definition of fitness is any belief or thought that shapes up in your mind. So the first part of your movement theory happens here, not the body. For example, if I want to go pick up a glass of water, first that idea has to come in my mind, that thought, I am thirsty, I need water. So that's a thought which has arisen in my mind, which was triggered by the body, of course, but the mind senses it, that the person needs water. And that will eventually translate into a feeling, and hence the person feels thirsty. That person, after feeling thirsty, will move towards the action. So what happens? The action is very simple. The person gets up from the chair, moves out and walks towards the water filter or a refrigerator or wherever you have the water station. You'll pick up your water, have your water, and then you come back. So what happens? There is an action which was performed, due to which the result is that you have hydrated yourself, so that you have saved yourself from becoming too much thirsty, which will lead to dehydration and not good for your health. So hydrating body will always keep you agile and active, and also makes you feel cool. Now I just gave you a small example about water, picking up water, which is an action. Similar examples can be used for various aspects. If I want to pick up vegetables, I will first pick up a bag and then walk down my house, go to the vegetable market, pick up the vegetables, walk back. I'm going to carry the bag in my hand either by walking or by an automobile, but there is an action which is performed. So in simple terms, fitness means translating a thought, an idea, a belief into a feeling, because you need to feel it. You need to feel the need for it. You need to feel the requirement for it, the thirst for it, the hunger for it. I mean, when do you feel hungry, right? When you really want to have some food, you are short of nutrition, short of calories in your body. So there is a thought which arises for you to eat food. And then you get into the kitchen. Because of the hungry feeling, you get into the kitchen. Getting into the kitchen is an action. That is an absolute action. Then you start figuring out what I want to have. So you use your hands to look at different vessels. You open the lids, figure out what I'm supposed to have. Now that's a completely different topic about what you need to have that I'm going to cover in the nutrition topic. But the very movement of you moving into the kitchen itself is an action. And then you fetch some food, pick it up, put it in a vessel, then you come back to the sofa or a couch, and then you start munching, eating, swallowing, gulping, blah, blah, blah. So that's the result. Due to which you filled up your food, the calorie requirement, the nutrition requirement. That is still fitness. So any movement or a thought which gets converted into a feeling, and that feeling when put it into action, gets us into results. So unfortunately, most of the people live in the beliefs, thoughts, and feeling world only. They don't convert those feelings into action. That is the reason why you see most of the people, they take up fitness resolutions, fitness decisions, fitness plans, especially during December month, they start gearing up for the so-called fitness resolutions, fitness changes. But what happens? January month, you go with a great josh, go fill up the forms, pick up your membership in the gym or a fitness center or any other sporting center. And in 15 days, you give up. And some people don't even walk to the gym or a fitness center or any kind of a place where you want to activate your body. Why? That's because your beliefs and feelings just remained there. It was never translated into an action, and that action never got converted into a result. So folks, it's very simple common sense that you need to work yourself into action, and action brings you results. So that's the mantra of fitness, a formula for fitness. So kindly work yourself into action. What do you see in this slide? 360-degree well-being. That is what I spoke about, and that is what I love to do, and that is what I am passionate about. On the right side of the slide, you see all the names. Those basically are the different factors which constitute 360-degree of a person. So be it vitality, peace, diet, therapy, harmony, happiness, attitude, sleep, your chakras, cleanliness, performance, hygiene, balance, joy, body, mind, soul, spirit. all connected with these factors, be it meditation, mental fitness, mental peace, positivity, food, quality of life, feelings, exercise, emotional fitness, rest, relaxation, music. All of this translate into the overall well-being of a person. That is the reason why I call 360 degrees. Meaning, in mathematics, 360 degrees is a circle. It's an absolute circle. So a person supposed to be living in that 360-degree circular mode of fitness. And that is what we all need to aim for. Most of the people just work on their bodies. As long as they feel that I have a rocking body to feel myself certified in your so-called mirror, doesn't solve the problem to get altogether, because you're just hitting on one aspect, which is the body part. Now, who's going to manage, clean up your mind? Who's going to sanitize your mind? Who's going to sanitize your soul, your spirit, your feelings, your emotions, your actions? All of that has to fall in place. So that's the reason why I have taken this initiative, this passion to educate, guide people on 360-degree preaching, because I work in this zone. I personally manage my body. Every single day I go to the gym or a fitness center. I sometimes hit the grounds, parks, sometimes on the roads. I work out almost 7 days a week. One day for sure, I'm going to do meditation. I work on my breathing so that I'm also working on my lungs. So my request, my suggestion to you all is that you need to work your fitness formula. You need to work your fitness programming. It can be 5 days in a week. It can be 3 days in a week. It can be 6 days in a week, or it can be all 7 days in a week. But you need to move. You can't be sitting at your couch or your chair and watching Netflix and Amazon Prime for your entire life. And what is going to happen? You will be a proper 360-degree couch potato, absolute couch potato in 360-degree format. So do you want to be a 360-degree fatty couch potato? I don't think so. So hence, it's important for you to figure out your fitness formula. You need to shape yourself, shape your body, shape your mind, shape your emotions, shape your relationships. And this is where you all need to find yourself every single day. And if you look at the liner down below, consistent discipline is equal to sustained health. And that is what I aim for. Every single day, I work on my body. I'm also trying to understand on the hygiene of my mind. So I introspect every single day as to how is my thought process? Am I thinking right things? Am I able to pick up good ideas? How is my creativity working? How is my thought process working? Similarly, I work on my feelings. How am I able to show my emotions to people? Am I being able to present myself in a right way? Am I using right language? Am I speaking in a kind way? Am I being rude or obedient or kind, patient? Similarly, I'm also working on my lifestyle, all through my lifestyle. From morning until night, I work on various aspects of what am I supposed to do for today. I make a checklist. I write a to-do list every single day. At 5 a.m., my day starts. I take shower in the morning, and I first do my most important aspect is paying gratitude to Almighty for giving me this beautiful life, which is a celebration. The first thing of my day, I start with a prayer and gratitude to Almighty. And then I start my day with a to-do list. I write most priority things, moderate priority things, and the lowest priority things in my list. And then I start my day accordingly, whatever that I need to work as the most high priority work. So I am setting my day in order. So mentally, emotionally, if I have to relate to somebody, if I have to pick up a phone and talk to somebody, I make it a point in my to-do list that I have to call an ex person and say, hi, how are you doing? What's happening? Are you keeping up well? Today's world, unfortunately, people are losing time and don't have simple sense of attention on each other. We are all glued to our technology and phones, and hence are not bothered to develop chemistry between each other. That is very, very important. Chemistry happens when you work on your physics. And that happens when you relate your body to other body. Then you have a chemical reaction, you have a chemistry developing with the other person. It could be in different forms. It could be a fatherly son relation, a motherly relation, a brotherly relation, a girlfriend boyfriend relation, a loving hearted relation, romance. It could be a nice friendship over a coffee. It could be a professional relationship to seek some ideas, but you need to relate. Hence, relate to people. Don't expect people to always call you, or don't be in that egoistic mode of, I will be like this only, let people chase me. That attitude will never work. And you're not going to build your relationships in that mode. And hence, relationship management is so important aspect of your overall fitness. Because we humans work on relationships. We are not living in ideal society like a jungle, living in a forest all alone. Then you need to be a saint. But still, you will still have to relate with forest. You still have to relate with plants. You have to relate with animals. That is still a relationship. If you noticed, folks, you might have seen in the animal kingdom when you play your National Geographic or Animal Planet, or even in your local zoo, you will find animals so beautifully playing with each other. Have you noticed that? Lions playing with lion cubs, dogs playing with puppies, cats playing with kittens, right? Have you not noticed that they play so beautifully with their families? What is actually happening? They are building a beautiful bonding relationship, whereas they don't have such sophisticated brains as humans. How are they doing it? Because they are in complete harmony with nature. They follow nature so well. It is humans who are not following nature due to their over-evolved brains or overutilized brains, and hence use too much of intelligence in producing things which are not needed. That is why we have nukes and so many defense-oriented investments which happen to create bombs, to create missiles which harm the universe, which harm the planet. So from a simple standpoint, as a personal space, you need to work on these aspects so that you have a beautiful bonding with everybody. And for the first step is to have a bond with your body. Stand in front of the mirror and see how you are. Set up a feedback for yourself. Am I looking leaner? Am I looking stronger? Am I looking fatter? Am I looking out of shape? Give a feedback for yourself and start working on yourself as what is that I need to do as a stepward process. Now I'm going to show you how that stepward process works. But remain assured that consistent discipline will only give you sustained health, long-lived health. So if you're looking forward for a long life and yet having a great rocking health even when you're at 80 or 90, that comes with consistent discipline. And for that, you need to adopt a 360-degree wellness formula by inculcating all these factors into your space and start working and connecting on it. Now let's look at roadblocks for fitness. What are those roadblocks? I mean, challenges. Now these are all famous challenges that I picked up after I've seen thousands of clients that I worked with, each coming up with their extremely beautiful, rosy excuses. Sometimes I feel I should give them an Oscar award. In fact, people on the screen working in Hollywood or Bollywood or in any movie industry, I'm telling you, our regular janta who live in the population are far more better actors than the on-screen actors. I can challenge you, because their acting talent comes out when you actually put them onto some kind of a fitness challenge, or when you give them an effort-taking project, effort-taking activity, and then they come up with such beautiful reasons. You will be shocked, and that too instant results, instant excuses. How does this happen? Because humans always escape from effort-taking work. That's why they are very, very complacent, cozy. They want to sit on the couch, eat all the namkeens of the world, order pizzas, and you have, thanks to technology, smartphones for getting Swiggies of the world and your Zomatos of the world, making them more richer and richer. In fact, Swiggy and Zomato have become billion-dollar companies now. Now, what are we doing that? at the cost of losing your fitness, you have made them richer. So let's look at this, folks. Whatever I'm speaking is out of experience, out of my real-time practical connects with my clients and many other individuals who have approached and always stated those excuses. Misprioritization, which also gets added up with building excuses. Misprioritization means what I need to work on, you actually push that across, and what you don't need to work on, you actually start ending up spending most of your time on that. Is that valid? Ask this question for yourself. How many times have you been on those ridiculous, frivolous chats trying to fight a war in the university of WhatsApp, in the university of YouTube, in the university of all those chat boxes? Why do you want to show your intelligence over there? And what is that you're going to get? Are you being awarded for it? Similarly, you spend so much of time munching, including alcohol, and then meeting certain friends who cause a lot of negativity. What is that you're achieving out of it? Please pose this question to yourself. This all happens when your prioritization goes for a toss. And that's why I love to build that to-do list in the morning, and I write the most high priority work every single day. And I ensure that I'm working on those high priority works, even if it were to get delayed, but I still work on it. When you lose focus, when you don't know what your priorities are, that is when you fall into the trap of clutter. So much of clutter that you invite in your house, in yourself, in your belongings, that you lose track of the real-time needs. Your body needs fitness, which is a simple truth which your mind keeps telling you. You are not able to walk properly. You're not able to climb your stairs properly. You start panting, your lungs give up. You go bonkers on oxygen, and you need a COVID to state that you need immunity. Do you have to wait for a COVID pandemic to tell you that you need immunity? Don't you know that it's your simple responsibility that you need to have immunity as your birthright? A simple high priority responsibility. Every human is supposed to have immunity because you are gifted with a beautiful body. It's just that you have become careless, irresponsible for not using the body, and hence you have invited many of these issues because your body has become weaker. You are creating a door open for the diseases to enter your body. So a beautiful example that I'll state, let's say you have a house, you have your house, you clean every day, the mopping happens, your servant or a maid, or maybe you yourself does the cleaning. I would say, just leave your house for 10 days unattended. Don't clean your house at all. What happens? You will have cobwebs, you will have a thick layer of dust on the floors, on your sofa seats, on your TV, on your refrigerator, on your beds. So why don't you sleep like that? Why do you need to clean? You don't need to clean at all. You can sleep in the dust. You can take bath in those, have you noticed those horror movies? So it can be a horror bathroom for you, and you take bath in that. What's wrong in it? Please do it. After all, you will not die. You will not, because hygiene matters. Eventually, it's going to cause a lot of health problems over a period of time. So you will ensure that you will clean up your house on a regular basis. When your guests are arriving, you are taking double care for your house to look good, spick and span. Why does this cleaning not happen on your body? Not just taking bath, not this applying perfumes, not putting up those fancy, those jewelry on yourself, not adorning Dolce & Gabbanas, Nikes, Adidas, or those fantastic brands that you want to wear. That's not going to build your health. It's just going to show your brand. You need to work on the internal aspect of your body, and hence sanitization is so important. Today we talk about hand sanitization because pandemic has made you feel the need for your hands to be clean. But who's going to clean your mind? Would you drill a hole into your brain and then drop sanitizing liquid inside? Or would you drill a hole in your heart and drop sanitizing liquid inside? Will that solve? It is your thought process. It is your emotions which need to get better. You need to move away from narrow-minded thinking and have a broad-minded thinking and start having your mind very positive. Start thinking about people in the right way. If you start judging people, that will bring in more clutter inside, and that is what will create a thick layer of dust inside. And when you have dust and filth living inside, your thought process will not work in the right order. The same is with your emotions. Your relationships will not work in a right order. You will always have enmity with people. Your ego will grow bonkers. Your ego will go to the power of 10. Divinity is nowhere closer to you. You will become unkind and rude. Your body is out of shape. And then you pick up anger, temperaments, aggression, and all kinds of nasty habits that will toxify your own life. You will also get indulged in bad food practices, including having alcohol and smoke, because you have a lot of negativity staying inside, filth staying inside, dirt staying inside. The way you clean your house, you need to clean your internal aspect, and hence your prioritization is so important. Please work on your priorities and stop building excuses. Build your body, not your excuses. I repeat it. Build your body, build your mind, build your emotions, build your relationships, build your strong food, build your life, not excuses. Second one, lack of awareness. So people sometimes want to be dumb in world. They don't think about what's happening around. They don't pay attention as to what's happening, because if you're too sunk into your phones, into your chat boxes or Netflix of the world, then there's so much happening all around. You sometimes have to take cognizance of what is happening all around, which should make you alert that your health is an important aspect. Sometimes what happens, people in the flow of work, flow of making more money, in the flow of making more assets, buying more houses, more money, more jewelry, they lack the awareness that their body is actually going out of toss. By the time you actually look back, you would have put on 10 kgs, and that is what exactly happened in the pandemic time. Please connect yourself how many kgs that you have put on over the last 2 years since pandemic attacked us. All sitting in your cozy chairs, ordering Swiggies and Zomatos, watching your TV, and also asking your mom and cook to make more and more tastier food. What is actually happening? You are piling up kgs and kgs of fat in your body. But you are not aware. You will be aware when your doctor tells you that I am very sorry. You have reached a stage where either you exercise or submit to gravity. Lack of awareness. Be aware. Measure your body weight. Measure how many kgs you're putting on, how much of inches you're putting on. Start becoming aware of your clothes, how they're fitting in. Are you increasing on the waistline or on the chest or on the back or on your hips? Pay attention on every single inch of your body. Stay aware. Think about your mind. What kind of clutter are you inviting? Is your thought process in right order or not? Think about your emotions. Are you being empathetic to people, sympathetic to people, or are you being rude and angry with people? All of this happens with introspection. I'm going to talk about that topic a little later, but awareness is very, very important. Be conscious on all that you're doing, what you're eating, what you're wearing, what kind of work you're doing, how much of movement are you giving for your body, what kind of programs you're watching on the TV. I'm not saying TV watching is bad. I love to watch movies, but I always pick up movies which make sense for me, because end of the day, after the movie, I want to add value for myself. Even if it were to be entertainment, I want to ensure that it's a sensible entertainment which helps me learn something out of it. Let's look at the next one, short-term fitness goals. Now here are our heroes, all those glam dolls who want to become size 0 or size 10 or size 5. I don't know what kind of vital statistics one wants to look at for, but this is short-lived game. I'm telling you, if you're looking at vital statistics, please take it in writing. It's a short-term game. As you invest in your fixed deposits or your bank accounts, what happens if you keep withdrawing money every now and then? Your overall net balance keeps coming down, right? So what do you do in order to make your financial balances to stay healthy? You keep accruing more and more deposits. You deposit more money. You in turn try to put that money into various other investments so that it fetches you different forms of returns, interest, right? The same happens with your body too. Every single day, if you're exercising, that is an investment for the body, investment for your mind, investment for your nutrition, so that you're building your life, you're building your health, your well-being. So don't have short-term results, folks. Short-term results, short-term goals are very, very fancy. Don't look at 2022, New Year is coming. So I will start from January 1st. Now, NOW, now is the time for you to start. I love that NOW word. Now should be your mantra for anything. Be it starting a study, be it starting an education, be it starting a book to read, or if you want to cook some food, you have to do it now. Don't postpone it. So don't have short-term results wherein I will like to lose my weight because my brother's marriage is coming. So I want to get into that, that frock. I have some clients who come and tell me, I want to wear a nice suit so that I don't want my paunch to be appearing on the suit or in my blazer or in that kurta. I want my jewelry to be superbly displayed. So I want my body to shrink down. It should look in a shapely manner. So these kind of fancy goals don't lead you to fitness. I'm telling you, please take it in writing. No short-term goals. It will not work. After 3 months, the same lady or the same man who wants to fit into those blazers, in next 3 months, they'll double up and the so-called dresses will be lying in the wardrobe and they have to go stitch a new set of clothes, double the size. And this is what has happened in the experience that I've seen. You need to aim for, I want to have a great body over a period of time for long. Even at 80 years, you need to still look like a rock star. That is the fitness that you need to maintain. And if you notice animals, they are so beautiful. Animals don't lose their fitness. They're always fit. You look at a leopard, you look at a tiger, you look at a lion or an elephant. Elephant anatomical structure is big. It's not fat. It's just a bigger structure. That's it. But they don't put on weight because they're always moving. They're always in forest, in different terrains, in different climates, temperatures. Either they are hunted by other animals or they have to hunt other animals. They have to protect themselves. They have to be safer. They have to move. They have to mate. They have to reproduce. So there's constant movement. Have you ever noticed a fat tiger, a fat elephant, a fat lion, a fat leopard? You would notice a fat dog if you have a domestic dog at home. That is because we humans feed those dogs all the clutter in the world to make it look fatter. It will still grow fatter like you or like many of the humans around, because it will also slowly get into our kind of routine, watching TV, lazing, being cozy on the couch, not doing anything, no movement. The same animal, when it is put into the forest, it will start moving. It has to move. There's no other goal. It has to save itself. So hence, animals teach us so many things. So we need to work on long-term results, long-term goals, not short-term. But you can always break down your long-term goal into short-term. Okay? So that way, let's say you want to lose 30 kgs, have short-term goals. Every month, I'm going to lose 3 kgs, 3 kgs, 3 kgs. So that way you are reaching your goal. So have a long-term goal, but intermediate goals, but not a short-term goal as your overall achievement. It's never going to work. Unhealthy food habits, lifestyle, as I stated, people get into all kind of clutter habits. I call it as clutter habits because that doesn't add value at all. So be it sitting at home, long time. COVID has made people work from home, and you know what has happened? Your laptops have become hotter and your bodies have become fatter. It's the truth. It's the truth. You are sitting on your couch, making the couch more hotter and fatter and adding more and more weight because your nutrition is going on and on. Even if you don't require food, you are eating food. So unrequired food, not needed. You get into the habit of eating only when you need it. And that's what I will cover in the nutrition topic. So set your lifestyle in order. In the to-do list, ensure that your activities are also in the right order. Avoid unnecessary activities, unnecessary time pass things which don't need to be in your calendar. So hence, good food, cleaner food, healthier food, and healthy lifestyle matters a lot. Now, this is very important. Make a note of this. Action to fitness. This is the process. This is how the process works. Because a lot of people have doubts as to what should I work on. Should I put on muscle or should I just play a sport? What kind of body that I need? So this is the mantra for it. Action. First is action. Action to fitness. Sign up for that. I need to action every single day. I need to move my body every single day. First, take responsibility that I have a body and that body has a soul inside. So your body is a vessel. So how can you even dare to think of playing with your body with those toxic liquids, toxic smokes, and all kind of clutter that you want to put into your body when you have a soul sitting inside? Is that the way you maintain yourself? I mean, a simple example, you have your car, you drive your car, right? You have an engine inside. Do you make your car dirty? Do you put in a lot of dust every day? Or even if it gets dusty, you have your cleaner who cleans the car every single day so that you have a hygienic driving time inside? So aren't you taking responsibility to clean your car, give it for regular servicing? The same needs to be incorporated for your own body. The servicing is nothing but taking the body for movements, for activities, fitness. And for that, what do you need? You need time. The second point. You need to take time. I don't like to buy this reason. I don't have time in the world. I don't have time. But the same people will have time to eat chocolates. They will have time to eat sweets. They will have time to go to weddings and eat full thali. Okay, so they have time for watching movies. That too, web series, episodes after episodes. So where does you get time from? No time is a simple excuse. It's a wrong excuse, a bad excuse that needs to be avoided. Every single human has time in this world, and make time for it. Make time for your relationships. Make time for picking that phone and talking to your people. Make time for your parents. Make time for your food. Make time for your kids. Make time in understanding people. Give time to listen to them. After all, we all have time in this world. Don't be the so-called celebrity who doesn't have time. Even celebrities have time. So don't get into those fashionable statements that I don't have time. Nutrition is so important. You need to work your nutrition way out all through the day. So be very aware as to what you should eat and what not to eat, which I'm going to talk in the next slide. Your lifestyle, as I said, set your order through the morning until night, ensuring that you are paying attention to all important things only, not clutter, crappy things, time-wasting things. When you avoid time-wasting things, you will automatically have time. Then you start making time for your fitness, gyms, fitness center, or you can go to a sporting club, play a sport, or you can go to a music center or a dance center and work on your dance. Goal setting, folks, this is very, very important. Now in goal setting, when I coach my clients, I always ask them, what are your goals? Because every person is different, every person's structure is different, body is different, attitude is different, their working lifestyle is different. So I always have a goal. I want to have a body like a tennis player. I want to have a body like a model, all chiseled, sculpted. I want to have a body like a wrestler. I want to have a body like a boxer. I want to have a body like a bodybuilder. Now there is a goal setting that you need to do and tell yourself what kind of body that you want. So that is when you will know, okay, this is my goal and that what I need to do to work for it. See, unless you know that you have to go to Kashmir, how will you start mapping your route for it? When your destination is set, you will know okay, this is the road that I'm going to take, or this is the plane that I'm going to take, this is the train that I'm going to take, right? You will have many options to travel, but you need to have a destination. A lot of people don't have destination at all, but they want to go all around, and they land up confusing, wasting their money, and then giving up finally. That is how people give up from fitness many a time. So having a goal is very important. Set your goals, and if you have a personal coach or a trainer, you need to state what kind of a goal that you want to work for, and that has to be very, very clear. Basing which your coach will work the required workout program, your diet, your lifestyle, and all that needs to be worked out to make your body achieve that result. And next comes, with your goal setting comes the workout routines. Let's say that I want to become like a boxer, a boxing body, okay, tough, big, strong, powerful. So I will create a workout plan which makes my client turn into a boxer, a real-time boxing professional, or a body which looks like a boxer. So workout routines are different for different goals. Remember this. If you want to be a tennis player kind of a body, I can't put you onto a workout routine which is like a bodybuilder. The same holds truth for other aspects. If you want to be having a cricketing body, I can't put you onto a tennis player's body, a tennis player's routine. Every individual goal has its own workout. So it is very, very important that you need to be very clear what kind of a body that you want, so that your workout routine is designed accordingly. And then the expert guidance. This is where people like me come into picture. If you are not able to work on these aspects, but you are so aware that you need a trainer, you need a good coach to back you up, you need a guide, then you need to hire an expert who can help you take responsibility with time and figuring out your nutrition, your lifestyle, goal setting, and set your workout routines. This is what a coach will do for you. And then coach will teach you, guide you, educate you, so that he or she will take you to the destination. And after the destination, the coach will prepare you on the maintenance. That is very, very important. People achieve sometimes results, but after that, they take it easy. They think that I have achieved the most important destination in the world and I will take it easy. So if you want to lose 50 kgs, you will lose 50 kgs over a period of time, and then you give up. And then you want to celebrate. You will guzzle down beer, you will order pizzas, burgers. What happens in no time, you will double up. So please do not shy away from your activity after you reach your goal. Your actual testing time starts from there, the maintenance phase. From there on, you need to maintain all through your life. For that, your coach, or if you have the knowledge for you to figure out how to maintain, please work on that, the maintenance of your fitness. Many people, they make mistakes here. They achieve their goal and then they lose out. And then they in turn put on so much of weight, or their body goes so in a dilapidated form, so it becomes so difficult for them to even achieve their first goal. So kindly be very careful after reaching a goal, maintain it. Now it's a very important topic, folks. It's very, very important. You can't neglect this. 60% of your fitness is dependent on your nutrition. It's a fact. 60% of your fitness, your health, well-being is dependent on the kind of food that you eat. That's why I said what you eat is what you are. Quality over quantities. Pay special attention on the quality of food, the kind of ingredients, the kind of vegetables, the kind of meat, the kind of grains that you pick up. That matters a lot. Always pay special attention on the quality, not the quantity. The quantity is not required. You don't need to eat volume food because you're not Usain Bolt or Michael Phelps, who's burning so many calories because you're swimming and running so much. Keep your quantity of food minimal. Eat right kind of ingredients. Ingredients that you should pay attention is high protein food. Number one formula, high protein food. There is no other way to look at. Every human is supposed to have minimum 1 gram protein per body weight. Meaning, if you are 70 kgs of body weight, you need to have 70 grams of protein per day. That's the minimum as per WHO. as per nutritionists, as per science, as per research, 1 kg of body weight needs to have 1 gram of protein. So you need to calculate your minimum protein consumption that is happening through various foods. Now, the foods that carry protein, vegetarian food, soya, your paneer, tofu, quinoa, millets, these are 5 essential protein giving foods for you in vegetarian. Also, cheese has a little bit of protein. You should have ghee. Ghee is very important every day so that it lubricates your body. It is so essential for your overall cycle flexibility. And in the non-vegetarian, you should bank on eggs. You should bank on fish. You should bank on chicken. I am not a great fan of red meat. Your beef and mutton don't really matter much. Unless you are too keen about it, I would recommend that you keep it minimal, bare minimal. Because red meat has high cholesterol, it can block your arteries. Over a period, you can develop cholesterol. So stay low on red meat, stay high on white meat. And your carbohydrates, second comes carbohydrate, is good for your energy, and that's what your energy is drawn from. Keep your carbohydrate moderate, not high. Many Indians, I'm talking Indians, they eat a lot of carbohydrate. If you see Indian festivals, it is fully filled with carbohydrates. Your rice, your dals of the world, your rice of the world, basmati rice, biryanis, and your gravy curries, all of that contains heavy load of carbs and fats, bad fats. So kindly cut down your carbohydrate content. You don't need, unless, as I said, if you're a sporting personality, if you're a professional fitness person, you're aiming for championships, if you're into Olympics or sports arenas, there's a different ball game altogether. You need to be on moderate carbs and good fibers. Eat lot of fruits, lot of vegetables, but try and eat them in different portions. Don't eat them together. So try and eat fruits one at a time. So if you're eating apple, just eat apple. Don't mix fruit. Don't have fruit bowl. Your body gets confused. Let your body take apple at a time, papaya at a time, guava at a time, pineapple at a time, berries at a time. Similarly, you can always have vegetable salads. That's fine. It's got very good nutrients. All the vegetables have water in it. So it's going to do a lot good for your skin and for your digestion, for your bowel movement. So bank on good fibers. Eat good fats which are going to do good for your heart. So fats such as a little bit of butter, a little bit of cheese, a little bit of curd, okay, and then a little bit of ghee, and your nuts. All the dry fruits contain fats. They are very good fats. So keep it all in portions, and don't consume them too much. Anything too much is bad. Remember that. Just because it is good doesn't mean that you have heavy load of nuts. No. Keep it bare minimum or moderate depending on your activity. Decide your activity. That's why I said goal-based consumption. If your goal is to become like a runner, then you will be losing a lot of calories because you're running a lot. So hence you need to eat more carbs. But if you're a corporate employee sitting at your workstation and working on the laptop, you don't need to have so many carbs because you're not burning so much of energy. You're sedentary most of the time. So goal-based consumption is very, very important. So work on that. In case if you're confused, consult a coach like me or a nutritionist who can design a diet plan for you. Periodical fasting, it is important because when you are in fasting, your body actually works more better. What happens is in your fasting, your digestion is not happening because there is no food going into the body. So the stomach is at rest. When the stomach is at rest, the body uses its energy for other functions. So cell improvement, cell transformation, or cell multiplication, producing of new cells, metabolism of the body, blood circulation, all of that gets refined because the digestion activity is not happening. So the body concentrates on other aspects. So once in a week, I recommend once in a week, a good fasting day, close to 16 hours is good. But people who are already into fasting, you can still keep working on it, maintain it, and maintain your hours. But I don't recommend everyday fasting for people who have not been used to fasting and who are on certain medical regime. So if you're having medicines and there are certain reports that are to be generated for your body, then please don't get into fasting unless you get a buy-in from your doctor. Doctor should prescribe for it. But otherwise, effects of fasting is really good, so work on it. Sunrise to sunset principle. This is something which I work on, and I advise you also to do that. And this is what our ancient Indians did. Start your day with the sunrise, start eating food well, good quantity, quality food, and then as the day recedes, as the sun sets, start cutting down the food volume. So by sunset, you should have finished your dinner. So first meal should be sunrise and the last meal should be at the sunset. So you have close to 12 hours not eating anything. For 12 hours, give that rest. And that is going to improve your body so well. So try to finish off your dinner as early as possible. So it's going to refine your body much better. Declutter process, introspection. So this is the healthy lifestyle that you need to work through. Starting with mental health. So you need to first have a very clean mind. So that's why I said, focus on your thought process, focus on your ideas, creativity, focus on spirituality, focus on good habits, and then stop all bad habits, get the toxics out, like stop smoking, alcohol, or any kind of sugary drinks that you're into. Avoid salts and sugars, please. This is very, very important. Salts and sugars should be strictly avoided or cut down to a great extent. In fact, for sugars, get into alternate sugars. That is, you can get into dark jaggery or palm jaggery or honey-based sweets. So don't bank on sugar. It does a lot bad for you. Sugar is great to hear. It is very sweetening, but it is damaging. Similarly, for all the toxic activities and toxic products, stay away from it. Or keep it bare minimum for your social activity only. Be very conscious about your feelings, conscious about your expressions, conscious about what you're talking, conscious about your relationships, and being very, very aware of all your activities. Next is your wellness, your overall wellness, the feel good factor. Wellness is nothing but your feel good factor. How are you feeling today? It could be due to your food, due to your devotion towards God, due to reading a book, due to exercising. So your feel good factor is influenced by all activities all around. Sometimes you may get disturbed because somebody has hurt you, and due to that hurt, your entire routine goes for a toss. You will stop going to gym, you will not eat properly, you will not wear good clothes, you are totally out of mood because your wellness quotient has gone down. So hence, focus on improvising your wellness by keeping all the factors intact, and don't get disturbed. If something goes wrong, you should not give up. Let your cycle go well. Keep moving forward. Feel good about yourself. Tell yourself that I am fine. If you have hurt somebody, your heart should tell you that you have hurt somebody, so introspect on it. Go apologize. It's absolutely fine to say sorry to somebody. You will be much more warmer, kinder individual if you do that. People appreciate people who are very open and who agree on accepting their mistakes. Medical care. So please do your health checkups every 6 months or 1 year. Maintain that cycle so that you know where you're standing. That's very, very important. It's a report card for you. And start taking right steps. If things are out of order, consult your doctor and get everything in order. Please do exercise. That is where your movement of the body comes in, and hence your responsibility towards your body is very high. Should be always conscious on that aspect. Stay motivated, charged up. Your energy level should always be high. Stay charged. And on the days when you are not, then that's okay. Accept it. That's fine. Today I'm weak. Today I am not in a mood. So relax. Use your time for relaxation. Energize in your relaxation. Energize in your meditation. Stay calm. Sometimes calmness helps you. You can seek a lot of energy through relaxation by resting. And keep a check on your weight every single day. It's important whether you are put on weight or losing weight. It matters a lot. So stay glued to your weighing machine and keep checking at regular intervals. It could be once in a week or every day, but keep a check on your weight. As I said, people, they tend to put on a lot of weight when they're in sedentary job, and suddenly they discover that their bellies have gone up, their overall body weight has gone up, and their wardrobe is not fitting into them. So weight management is very important. So as I said, on the left side, declutter process. This is very, very important as part of your lifestyle. Introspect, ask yourself every single day, what am I doing? How am I thinking? How is my body doing? How are my relationships with people? How is my food going? How did my day go today? What good things that I have done, or what bad things have I done? How am I going to improvise on that? The moment you start thinking on this on a daily basis, you will give a report card for yourself. There's an assessment which happens. For all good things, tap yourself for good work and criticize yourself for bad work. You be a good critic for yourself. That is when you will be on the road for transformation. When you are a critic for yourself, you will start working on good things in life. And mind, body, heart, spirit, time, and energy. You need to connect with all these aspects every single day. That's why I call it as a 360-degree alignment for your body. And all these things are interrelated. If your mind is not in order, your body won't listen to it. The same, your feelings will go for a toss. The overall spirit will get disturbed. Your time management goes for a toss. Your energy levels are very low. So keep everything in order. Hence, a balance is so important. Stay in balance. And that is why I call sustained well-being all time, irrespective of changing times. You don't need a pandemic to tell you that you need to be well. Irrespective of pandemic or non-pandemic, you are always healthy. That should be the mantra. Today it's pandemic, tomorrow it will be a volcano, the next day it will be a hurricane, then a flood. You don't need to wait for all these things to tell you that you need to work on your health. You should be always healthy. That is your prime focus. That is what will make you sthita prajna, as a wise person who takes care of internal and external aspects of your life. So stay well. Don't let a pandemic decide whether you should be healthy or not. Always 24/7, 365 days. Spiritual accountability, my last slide, but a very, very important slide. You should be accountable to spirit, your God, Almighty, nature, universe, you name it, your God, you have a name for it, but you need to be accountable to it. What you're doing is so important because that is what will produce results. That is why I said your action produces results. But bad actions provide bad results. So you need to be conscious about your action. That is why karma, dharma philosophy works. So dharma, as per Sanskrit language, is righteousness, being in the right path, being in the truthful path, being in facts, being cleaner, healthier, hygienic, true, doing right things for everybody, for yourself, for your family, for your friends, for your office, doing everything in order. Your work is clean. No hanky-panky, no hunky-dory, no shortcuts, no corruption, no manipulation. That is what dharma teaches you. And that is what Sri Krishna has told Arjuna in Bhagavad Gita. So this is what you need to focus, because your dharma is going to decide your karma. And that is absolutely in line with it. You do good, you will receive good from the spirit. You do bad, you will receive bad. If you neglect your body, you will put on weight. If you do exercise, you will do great. Your body will get better. If you eat clean food, your body is in shape. If you eat bad food, your body is out of shape. So everything is proportional, right? Good action, good result. Bad action, bad result. Evil action, evil result. Divine action, divine result. So when you work with this philosophy, the middle circle that you see is what you should achieve. That is called sthita prajna. The person who is always at ease, no tension, no stress, no physical problem, no medical problem. Very peaceful, very harmonious always, very, very happy, always in bliss, healthy, joyful, lovingful, romantic, loving, always in a seeking mode, learning mode, always in a giving mode. That is called sthita prajna. And that will happen when your dharma is in line with your karma. Hence, spiritual accountability is so important. So please connect with your spirit. As I said, your spirit has different names. As per your beliefs, your faith, your community, your religion, follow that, but effectively follow the principle of righteousness and wrong, basing which your action and results will be decided, and that is what karma does. And karma will not leave anyone. You can never ever escape karma, irrespective of how many ever tricks that you want to play, how much ever intelligence that you want to throw upon, how much ever technology that you want to use. You can never ever get rid of karma, because that is what will chase you, hunt you, and track you down. And if you do good, your karma will award results, it will award rewards to you. So now you decide whether you want penalties or rewards, basing which you decide what kind of dharma that you need to follow. So hence, connect with spirituality every single moment of your life. My message to you all: do good, feel good, stay active, keep moving, eat well, think right, relate well with people, and pray well, and expect good for everybody, irrespective of whether the person is your friend or an enemy. Always live in that path of doing good for others, and keep giving. Have a generous heart. Generosity will bring you many good deeds for you. So through this, I end my session. You have a 360-degree solution now, why you need to work on 360-degree fitness, so that you add value for yourself, for your community, for your family, for this beautiful planet, so that you are fulfilling the purpose and meaning of living a great life. Let's connect. This is what I do. These are my offerings, my coaching services. I'm a multi-fitness specialist, so I give coaching on all different functions of fitness, be it bodybuilding, sports training, athletic training, Pilates, yoga, Zumba, dance-based training, animal-based training, and sports-related training. I work on all aspects based on what my client wants. I do one-on-one personal transformation coaching, which is completely dedicated, personalized, fully customized for you. Group trainings, communities at corporates. I work in gated communities and different apartment groups and societies where people want me to train them as a group. I do family trainings for giving all the family members good level of physical workouts, and also coaching them on other dynamics. I do corporate trainings on theoretical and practical aspects of 360-degree fitness. I do remote and online training, because that is what has become very important nowadays in the work from home mode. So don't give an excuse. You can sign up for a coach online also. So don't negate on that. You can always have a beautiful working time while you're doing your training online. And I work with few of my clients who live in US, who live in Australia and Europe, some in Bangalore, some in Bombay, some in Hyderabad online, because they have time pressure, and I work with them online. I also love to do offline training at different places, whether it's being gyms, homes, fitness centers, depends on where my client wants them to train or want them to be trained. I do wellness counseling and mentoring for people who are confused in life, who have a lot of emotional issues, who have physical complexities, mental complexities, and who are not able to figure out a goal, who are not able to figure out their life mapping. I help them with right kind of tips and counsel them to clear their confusion. I also work on consulting projects to build gymnasiums and fitness centers for various corporate institutions. So even including your home gym, I strategize home gym based on your needs. And these are the projects that I work with all the manufacturing fitness companies, so that I set end-to-end result for you. I'm a passionate writer, speaker, and mentor. So I work on writing projects. I'm also authoring my first book, which is in the pipeline, will be released very soon. I get invited on various forums as a guest speaker, and speaking is my passion, because I want to educate on fitness through my medium of speaking. I'm also a mentor for many junior trainers and learning professionals who want to get coached under me.
So here, I think I would like to add few things. First of all, thanks Jitesh for that wonderful and wholesome session where you have covered almost all the topics which one can think of when you talk about fitness, right? So, and for participants and whoever is watching on a Facebook Live, so if you have heard Jitesh for the last 1 hour, you would say that yes, whatever he said made sense, right? So it made sense. If you pick any one aspect, obviously it makes sense.
Yes.
But at the same time, it's also overwhelming, isn't it? Because he spoke out so many things, and it's like too much for you. It might be too much for someone to take. I mean, someone might be coming when they say fitness session, fitness summit. They come with a mindset that this is going to be purely about fitness. So, but he covered so many things, and all of them are true. It's not that he was going out of topic. It's actually true. Now, this is the problem, that there are too many things to do and people don't know where to start. And as Jitesh mentioned, people are prioritizing problems, right? So it's like a very confused environment. So that is where we at Strong Human Network play the role. So just like if you forget everything, whatever Jitesh said today, okay, let's say if you want to start afresh, there is one small mantra which I can tell you is that lead the strong human lifestyle, right? So if you start with leading the strong human lifestyle, let's say you don't know like what a strong human network does, it's secondary. Just start from strong human lifestyle. So what makes you strong? You start from there. And once you get into this mode, you will understand what actually makes you strong. So at a superficial level, you will think that this is what makes me strong. For suppose you might think that my money, my position is making me strong. But if you delve deeper, you will actually understand what is that it is making you strong. That would be like, it's your skill, it's your hard work, right? And so many things which you do, and it's your awareness, it's your patience, it's your resilience, these kind of things. So strong human lifestyle basically stands for these things. And once our offering is about that. So once you start leading a strong human lifestyle, whatever Jitesh said, even if you don't remember what he said, if you start living the strong human lifestyle, automatically you will do what Jitesh said. And that is what we play, the role we play. So as an individual, you might be very confused in your priorities, what you want to do, because your wife or husband might be saying something, your father might be saying something, your boss might be saying something, right? And everyone says with some motive in their mind, isn't it? So you are yourself confused with your priorities. So this is one of the main challenge, and this is where fitness comes. So sometimes, to be honest, in my own case also, fitness becomes a non-priority if there is something more urgent in life, right? For suppose if you are looking for if you are in a bad phase of your career, so that is where your fitness regime will come down. In fact, to be honest, before I started SHN, I was at the highest point. I was at the highest point in fitness. So I was highest point in my career, and that time I started focusing on fitness also. I used to go for morning walks. I used to go for trials, like hill trials near to my locality. I was living in Hyderabad suburbs during that time. So all that I enjoyed trekking, doing some physical activity. As Jita said, like I always kept moving. I bought a cycle, okay, and we used to do all kind of activities. Sometimes play badminton, all these things. But again, once I started SHN and became an entrepreneur, because even my fitness regime got affected. Because I had, as an entrepreneur, I faced some pressures, which I had, and my priorities changed. But still, I kept moving. But of course, it came down, right? So that is a practical thing. So what we are saying is that first of all, you need a community with whom you can talk to, where you can very honestly speak what is bothering you. And whatever is bothering you, it can't be, not always can be told in a group setting. You need a one-on-one setting to actually tell what's exactly bothering you. Then we can think of a solution, right? So this all is possible if you are part of Strong Human Network. So Strong Human Network, if you become a member of Strong Human Network, all this will come naturally to you. So even Jitesh was mentioning about observing every aspect of the day, right? So SHN, the most core aspect of SHN is Strong Human Destiny Journal, which is like the binding thread of SHN, where everyone, before they go to the bed daily, they just fill a 2-minute journal, where you just journal whatever has happened in your life in terms of like action, emotion, thought pattern, food habits, drink habits, physical exercise, posture, meditation, everything. You just journal. There is no pressure of to do something. The only thing is just journal it. That is, just observe whatever you have done. So that is the journaling part. So through this activity, all the members of SHN we make sure that they become aware of whatever they have done. So there is, as Jitesh mentioned, you criticize, compliment, he mentioned, right? So this is there in our journal. So you can mention criticism of the day, compliment of the day, you have a journal. And in SHN, you are assisted with a success manager and a relationship manager who will actually talk to you one-on-one and understand your actual requirements and help you in all ways. So for suppose to achieve your fitness goal, might be that you have to first become completely a bit stable in career. That's possible, right? Because that is bothering you. You want a six-pack, but before you get want a six-pack, you need a stable job, let's say. That is actually a very practical scenario. So SHN can help you achieve both of them. So your success manager at SHN is not just about your fitness. So we talk about career, relationships, health and fitness. And all these three can be achieved through Strong Human Lifestyle. So this way, we will be approaching your life in a holistic and 360 degrees way. So now again, I just want to keep it short here. So because we are focusing on fitness, if you are interested to start a fitness regime, so we are starting a batch with Jitesh from SHN, where at least we are looking to take at least 15 members batch. I think, Jitesh, can you handle 15-member batch? Group batch?
Should be good.
Should be good, right? Yeah, so 15-member batch. So all of them will be members of SHN, and Jitesh will be especially, it will be a group setting, as well as there will be one-on-one consultations with all the members, so that individual goals are set. And there will also be a group where we'll be tracking what everyone is doing, right? So this way we are going to plan an activity soon. But yes, every one of you have to be Strong Human members also. So that is also important. If you are watching this and if you are not a Strong Human member, so I think Rajni will tell you like how to become one. And I think that's it from my end. So over to you, Rajni.
Yeah, thank you, Sainath. Thanks a ton, Jitesh. I think that was a wonderful session, because I love the way you connected the spiritual aspect, spiritual fitness, mental fitness, and the physical fitness together. And I also love the fact that you connected the first slide and the last slide. And it was a beautiful message, how you start off and end on the same note, with so many points in between. And we would really, like you said, build your body, not your excuses. I think for me, that was the greatest takeaway. And I would love to introduce you to our company, which is Strong Human Network, which Sainath has, briefed you about. In case you would like to get in touch with us, please do visit our website. It's www.shn.life. And we will, since all of you have registered, we will also be getting in touch with you shortly by sending you an email in case any of you would like to get more details. And we are going to be, most of the memberships happen on recommendation. So we would like you to visit the website and send out an invite. And once the invite comes in, this is the request invite button. So do visit and request for an invite, submit the form, fill in this form, and one of us will get in touch with you. We will brief you about the company. We would also like to know why you would like to join our club. and then we can take you through the journaling process. It's not a very easy step. You have to really put in your efforts. Like Jitesh said, if somebody has to work on something, you have to work on your body to maintain a physical level, a certain level of fitness. And a pandemic is not the only reason for you to start off on your fitness journey. It has to start off even otherwise. So we would, if you send an invite, we would like to talk to you, find out as to why you would like to join our club, and then we will brief you about the process, after which you have a 21-day journaling process. So it's not very easy. We would like to see you also leading a strong human lifestyle before you become a member. So that's the reason why the 21-day journaling is so very important. So please do tune into our website. You can also visit us on all our social media handles, Instagram, LinkedIn, and Facebook. And tomorrow we are also starting our talk sessions, weekly talk sessions. Please do tune in, because you will be getting to listen to a lot of accomplished people from different walks of life. A lot of people who have gained a lot of experiences. I'm sure it's not going to be restricted to one area alone. We are going to be having different people across different walks of life who will be coming in. And we are going to start off the talk show with our founder, Mr. Sainath, tomorrow. So feel free to visit our website for more details. Also visit our social media handles to get more information. We are also going to be starting off our fitness sessions with Jitesh. We are going to be starting off meditation sessions, dance programs. We are going to be having book shows. So a lot of sessions in store for all of you. So do visit our website, send out an invite, and get to know how you can become better versions of yourself, how you can become a strong human. I think we do have some questions, which I think there are a couple from Ajay and also from
Jitesh,
Sunil.
Before get in, actually, Mr. Sunil has posed a question direct to me, actually.
Yeah, even I
would like to answer that. His question is, today many fitness platforms have come to light, dangling their own carrots during the COVID period. What is the key differentiator in your 360-degree program? How consistent is your program? Yeah. So again,
Sunil is not here. I think, has he rejoined? Because I don't see him.
But I think this is something we should answer. So see, the main differentiator is that we are actually helping you prioritize everything in your life. We are just not talking about fitness, right? Because fitness is one of the goals in your life. That's not the only thing which you do. So by leading the strong human lifestyle, you will be able to make fitness part of your daily life and also make it a sustained effort. It's not a short-term goal. Short-term goals can also be achieved, but that's the long-term fitness is the bigger goal. Yeah, I think that answers his question. And now I think Jitesh, you can take over.
I think Ajay has a couple of questions. And
Yeah, so I see a question in the chat box from Sunil George.
Yeah.
So Sunil George also happens to be my very good friend and ex-colleague. We together worked. Wonderful question. Today, being fat is being celebrated and fat interventions are being demonized. This is being taken advantage of by the culprits, the unhealthy person. What is your take and advice for such people? Great. So all the fat club, the fat club folks, they need some excuse to celebrate, right? So that's why you have these so-called words, body shaming, and fat is nice, fat is good, is what people started to work in. Then I think all these fat people should stop going to doctors, stop seeing fitness centers, and should keep eating more fat. Why shouldn't you do that, right? Why should you care for all that? You have XXL, progress from XXL to 10XL. No, that's so nice, right? So when you turn fat, you know the kind of disadvantages the body gets into. I mean, let's look at the seriousness of it. The body gets into so much of disadvantage. Your walking speed comes down. your climbing and getting down speed comes down. Your knees start hurting because the knees are put pressure with the body weight completely on it, so the knees start to give up. And then you have wake up problem, sleep problem, and then snoring problem. When there's a lot of weight, you snore a lot, right? You sleep a lot, you become more lazier, you are not active. You can't chase things, you can't run towards things. You have to wait for things to come to you, which will not happen, right? So one needs to get into the practical way of thinking. Don't get into that extreme thinking process like what feminists do, or those extreme bodies that we have who always try to support their point, become very defensive. Now here the question is not about defending. The question is about accepting if something is not right. Work on it. Don't get into the defensive theory that fat is fine, you don't have to feel bad about it. Why shouldn't one? When you know that there is something going wrong, you need to accept that I am doing wrong and I need to work on it. In that case, you can start giving excuses for all your wrong actions. Alcohol is good, so alcoholics will create a group. Alcohol is very nice. Smoking is nice, so smokers will form a group. Alcoholics will form a group. Fat club is one group. Then that is not the way you look at fitness. Fitness is about falling in balance. When does that balance come in line? When you have everything in order. Your body, your mind, your food, your lifestyle, your family relations, everything going in order. What kind of a body that you want to make is a different subject altogether. But at least get into the normal composition of being healthy. Fat bodies have thyroid problems. They are more vulnerable to diabetes, more vulnerable to heart attacks, more vulnerable to motion related works, motion that is walking, moving works, right? So it can't be brushed off. You can't brush it off saying it is okay. You start loving yourself. Those are all very rosy words to listen, very, very rosy words to listen, but not rosy words to actually practice. So it's a very rightful question. And I strongly urge all the people who are out of shape or who are in the obese category, kindly don't fall for these words or statements made by these groups. Please revisit yourself. If you need to work in order, you need to work. There are no two ways to look at it. Figure out an expert or a coach who can help you. Or if you have the knowledge, there is a lot of YouTube information, a lot of Google information that can still help you. But start working yourself into a better version. The way you progress in your career from one level to another level, you work for it, right? Similarly, your health needs to be worked on. You can't be getting into a defensive formula saying, this is fine, I'm accepting this the way it is. Then start accepting everything in life, right? Don't complain. If somebody hurts you, don't complain. If your spouse is harassing you, don't complain. Start accepting everything is fine. It can't happen that way. A right action leads to right result. So please be very practical to judge yourself. Be a judge for yourself whether you are in a right composition or not. If not, work on it. If you can't work, engage a coach, engage an expert to work on it. Accepting the truth is number one dharma. Don't create excuses around it and tell that it is truth. That's what dharma says. So I have a question. I read a question from Ajay.
Yeah, I think
Ajay says, how to build a healthy routine? Suppose I would like to build a personality like a model. How do I start and achieve my goal? So Ajay, it's very simple. If you want to be a model, you need to have a model related habits. Your habit should be a model. So models are sculpted bodies who walk on the ramp. You know that, right? Because they have to wear designer clothes. They have to wear tailor-made clothes by the designer. And then you have to have a sculpted body so that you fit into all kinds of clothes. And in order to have that sculpted body, your food has to be sculpted. Your food needs to be so measured. So you see the model's body, it's so Greek. It's all chiseled. Your food should be chiseled. Everything calculated. You can't have errors in your diet. You can't have mismanaged food. Everything is calculated food. Simple formula, Ajay. Calculated food, calculated lifestyle, calculated work will bring a calculated body. So work on this principle of measuring your food. What kind of ingredients? Yes, it has to be high protein food and good carbs, because you need to have a good muscle on your body, but very shapely muscle. And you need to really have a customized workout plan for models. There's a customized workout plan for models so that your muscles are in shape, they're tighter, there is zero fat in your body or 5% fat, not more than that. Your muscles need to be visible. You need to have a six-pack so that you look chiseled on the ramp when you're walking. I hope I have answered, but if you still would like to know more, you can get connected with me. My details have been just shown a few minutes back. So you can connect with me on social handles also.
Any other questions? Thanks, Jitesh. Any other questions anyone else would like to ask? Jitesh is here with us for a couple of more minutes, and then we are winding up because we have already run late. And
anything from you, Rajni? I don't know how many participants are still available.
Yes, there are a couple of participants who are still available, and I think there are some people also watching us on Facebook.
Thank you, Ajay. Thank you, Ajay, for the compliment, and thank you, Sanjo Gita, for the compliment. Please put yourself on this roadmap of getting better into a better version. And you have SHN as your partner who can give you a wholesome, better version formula, better version process. And we are here, and I'm a very highly involved partner for SHN who will work on various fitness projects going forward. So stay tuned with us. And if you have any other questions, and if you're not able to recollect them right now, please write to us. I would be very happy to write back to you.
And just as Jitesh works on the 360 approach, we at SHN also work on 3 different approaches which are really vital for anybody, be it health or career or relationships. So we work on a holistic approach, to help you enrich your lives. Do get in touch with us if you have any queries. Send out an invite on our website, and we can also connect with you and speak to you as to how we can take this journey going forward. So thanks a lot for tuning in, everyone. Thanks a lot, Jitesh. I think it was really, really wonderful. Thanks again for touching upon various aspects of life, not necessarily the physical fitness part of it. And thanks a lot, Sainath, for helping us out and supporting us in hosting this show. Thanks, Niharika. And thanks a lot to the audience who've been really wonderful. I think we've had a lot of interaction, a lot of chats coming in, and I'm sure there are people who would like to know more going forward, and we would love to answer your questions, love to get connected with you. So stay connected, become better versions of yourself, and become strong humans. Thank you. Bye-bye.
More strength to you all, more strength, more power, more strength, more energy to you all. Stay blessed. Take care.
Thank you, everyone. Thanks a lot. It was a wonderful session. Looking forward to more fitness sessions by Jitesh and seeing you all achieve fitness goals, including me. Thank you.
Hello, I'm Niharika, Success Manager at Strong Human Network. We keep posting a lot of content which helps a person lead a strong human lifestyle. So if you wish to lead a strong human lifestyle and be the best version of yourself, do subscribe and follow us on YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram. We'll see you there. Thank you.